Well, amid allegations of foul play in Europe, the Kremlin has dismissed claims of Russia attacking the Nord Stream pipelines as absurd and stupid. The gas leaks from key pipelines in the Baltic Sea are raising fears of a worsening energy crisis on the European continent. Millions of cubic meters of gas are spilling into the Baltic Sea. Now, 3 separate leaks were detected on the Russian-owned Nord Stream 1 and 2, all within the space of 24 hours. Given the severity of the damage, experts believe they are likely caused by a state actor.
Den tydelige vurdering fra vores myndigheder er, at det her er ikke en ulykke. Det er heller ikke tilfældigt. Det har været planlagt, og der er tale om endog meget store sprængninger.
Rosie Burchett joins us live from Brussels. Rosie, what can the EU actually do even if it can confirm that these leaks are an act of sabotage?
Well, EU officials at first were treading a very cautious path here. They were saying that it was too soon to determine whether these leaks were caused by deliberate actions. But just in the space of a few hours, that language hardened, and now there's one word on everyone's lips here in Brussels, and that word is sabotage. Now, EU officials have stopped short of attributing any blame for this alleged sabotage. Now, there is some suspicion, certainly behind closed doors, that this may have been caused in one way or another by Moscow. Poland's foreign minister is one of those who's spoken publicly on the matter. He said that that cannot be ruled out, but still no official blame-laying so far by the European Union. Now, what can they do about this? They have promised, EU officials, a robust and united response. They have promised to retaliate once investigations prove something one way or the other. But the retaliation methods they have really boil down to sanctions against perpetrators if these do indeed prove to be attacks, as is so widely suspected here across the European Union. But remember, the EU already has a swathe of sanctions in place against Moscow, so it may prove insufficient in some people's eyes in terms of a response to what is certainly a dramatic escalation in this deepening energy crisis across this continent. Now, one interesting point some analysts are pointing to is the fact that these suspected explosions, these suspected potential attacks, happened in international waters, so outside the territory, for example, of Denmark. Had they occurred within that territory, well, that might be something which would trigger a response from NATO, that Western military alliance in which also includes the United States and in which members take a collective defence pledge to protect each other in case of security threats. Now, the fact these happened outside waters would, some say, rule out any sort of response on that front. But we do know this is something which NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg has been discussing with defence ministers here from the European Union. So certainly something which is escalating a crisis which is deepening across this EU, as on the one hand, households and businesses struggle to pay energy bills as prices soar, and on the other hand, as EU countries scramble to replace supplies of energy once imported from Russia.
Oh, thanks for that. Rosie Burchett speaking to us there from Brussels.